but this is going to set in motion an entire year-long cycle, basically, all right? A little bit shy of a year, in which you're going to experience extraordinary good fortune.
Lunatic Astrology.
Hello there, Aries. What a month you're going to experience in June. It's going to be feeling like a heavy weight of turbocharged chironic energy that's been on your shoulders since 2019 has finally lifted, and you're going to feel a new energy as Chiron leaves your sign and you get some sort of sense of having learned a divine healing lesson and moving on. At the same time, it's a powerful month because the Lord of your sign, Mars, is moving also out of your sign. And finally, another big piece of this month is the luckiest part of our year, and that is in June, Venus will join together with the planet Jupiter in exaltation and kick off a huge amount of luck and fortune for you in your world, particularly when it comes to what's going on in your home life, in your nest, in your domicile, where you live and with whom you live. In today's video, we're going to take a half an hour to go through the highlights of the month of June for Aries Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome if you're new. My name is Lori Lothian. I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac, and this is definitely the place to be if you need all signs content. My channel puts out dozens of videos every single month, and they are all signs delineations. So just try me out, sign up, see if you like this channel, and I'll see you guys hopefully in the comments. Now, one thing I want to mention before we do the whole deep dive, 30 minutes into April. If you need to know more about me, everything's in the description box, website, everything else. Also, my Patreon community, my members only platform here. But more importantly, I have a couple of call to actions I want to make sure I let you know about before I forget. I'm doing a really big deep dive into the Chiron into Taurus webinar as we get into a new 7-year cycle of where the wounds will be healed and we'll find our special purpose and gifts. And if you want to know more about that, in the description box below, you will find either a sign up waitlist or even the enrollment link, depending on when you first watch this video. Come join me in June for that webinar and find out information in the description box below. Also, perhaps you might be kind of curious or interested in my Divine Timing Masterclass. I've been teaching it throughout May, and the very last weekend of May, we still have a class that I'm teaching called Distributions Through the Bounds, and you can jump in late for that class with 2 Q&As the first week of June. And if you jump in for the entire program, you're going to get a big discount on the modules, the 5 lessons you've missed, but you get those as a self-study, and it's on my teaching platform at lorilothian.com below. And lastly, I'm so happy to announce I made 150,000 subscribers in the month of May. I'm recording this for you guys May 11th, and I'm so happy to finally get to that little peak period of success or whatever that means. And if you want, I'm giving you a 40% off code on all of my courses that I've taught already. These are replays of those courses, and there's more than a dozen of them on my lorilothian.com website. And you're going to use the code CELEBRATE, all caps. And if you want to just study those courses yourself, they are all 40% off at this time. So go check the description box for that as well. Let's get started, shall we? I'm going to show you the chart because I want you to see your sky. I have an Aries Sun and Moon, so I really relate. Oh, how do you tell the difference between Sun, Moon, and Rising? I hear you asking that question. Your Sun sign is your career and purpose matters and represents the true you. The Moon is how you feel and think about your life, but represents your home and nest. Like an eclipse to your Moon will eclipse your home, change your home or who you live with. And the rising sign is your avatar, like your simulation character. Leos have big hair and beards, right? And that kind of thing. And so it's going to be how the spirit of you, the sun, your true self, moves through the character, the ascendant. However, the ascendant is very accurate for most people, most of the time, and the sun next. And some people don't really jive as much with the moon unless they're going to be moving. Try all 3, see what you think. Let's get going. All right, so we've got 30 minutes. I'm going to keep it to 30 minutes because I always go too long on these. I do put out a lot of weekly content that dives into all of this, so you can check it out on the weekly videos as well. So you don't need to think about it as just listening to this video, but please keep this information handy because it does delineate the highlights of the month of June for Aries. Now, it would be good if I moved us into June. So let's do that. And I bet you hear those sirens. Lori's moving. She is. Are we in June? June. And let's move ourselves back to the right side. And here we are, June the 1st. Now, I think that I want to make sure that we don't lose us. So let's take that ascendant and see where we are and go back another hour. There we go. So Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign. First off, you want to remember that you've been dealing with Mars in your sign for a long, long while. In fact, Mars is your ruler. He's turbocharged. He's full of like you being strong, willful, directed and motivated, passionate and purposeful all during the month of May. You might have noticed you worked very hard or you were very decisive. Well, this is May 19th. Sorry, this was May 19th. Or was May 19th behind you, where he moved out of your sign and into Taurus. So as we go into the month of June, you're having that sort of new focus and where Mars is driving you forward, the ruler of your sign, as of May 19th, and we'll be doing that till the very end of June. Till the June 28th is in your money house. You may be passionately driven to make money. You may be working hard to make money. You may be spending more money, but you're very focused on money issues. And you might be also very willing to curtail your diet, change your food style, get rid of habits and addictions as well during this cycle. And some of you might do some dermabrasion or treatments to your face. Now, this is true for all, like facial rejuvenation or facial treatments or dental work. All of this was true and is true May 19th to June 28th. And then Mars is off to the races in Gemini. We'll cover that in the month ahead, July. Backtracking to Chiron, this baby has been with you since February of 2019, giving you a career wound and a key to purpose. If you're an Aries Sun, an emotional wound or home and nest wounds. If you're a moon in Aries, and also maybe some wounds around your appearance or your identity as well for Aries rising. This is leaving and test piloting the sign of Taurus, which is going to feel really new for you this month. Now, we're going to get to that turning, crossing over of Chiron on the 3rd week of June when we get through the chronological order. But I want you to know that that is going to feel very good for you. And you'll be feeling much better, so to speak, about this essential journey all the way through until September 17th. And we begin to feel the transition in the 3rd week of June. So those are the big stories for you, the highlights. Now, let's go into chronological order, including that luckiest break that you're going to have down here. So we begin the month, and the first thing I want you to be aware of is that Mercury sextiles Chiron at 29 degrees of Aries. This is an important moment. It might take you back to onset of an eclipse in April of 2023 when we had an eclipse at late degrees 29 Aries. So you want to go back to April, if you don't mind, of 23 and then what happened in the year that followed, because there's a resonance energy here. And when Mercury does this particular touch point or flow to Chiron, okay, so you'll see it right here, right? It's going to be May 31st and it bleeds into May 1st, right? It really depends on where you're living. And that sextile between Mercury and Chiron at the last day of May and the first day of June is a grand finale of some kind of healing that you were trying to accomplish since 2023, April. Or March or April, to do with your identity and the 3rd house, siblings, writing, communicating, marketing, selling, teaching, learning, traveling, keep all social media landscape, purpose and healing, purpose and calling, identity and healing, on and on. It's a grand finale, and look for news. Look for an email, phone call, text message coming through your world on the last day of May, the first day of June, and look at that and go, oh my God, the grand finale of this story. This feels so much better. That wound with this whole 3rd house thing. For example, during the pandemic, I'm an Aries Sun. I couldn't travel anywhere in Canada, the local home country area, my city, couldn't go to restaurants and stuff because I didn't take a particular ineffective tool that could have been damaging to my body. And so that was a wound, for example. So, there's a clearing of these wounds and a grand finale through information, news, phone calls, texts, something coming through the last day of May, first day of June. That's important to you. I'm highlighting what's most important for your sign. With Saturn in your sign, making you feel all grown up and very diligent and perseverant, you're going to notice that there is a beautiful flow to the sun on the 2nd and 3rd of May. This energy of this beautiful energy, 1st, 2nd, 3rd of June, 1st, 2nd, 3rd of June, is going to be a feel-good moment after the grand finale of the Chironic healing through some kind of communications of some sort or information. Now you're really sticking the landing in a way that feels like all your hard work is paying off for things that you've been doing that are third house: sibling relationships, short distance travel, local community, matters to do with the online social media landscape, communicating, selling, marketing, teaching, and writing. This is kind of a real sigh of gratitude for what you've accomplished in that area of your life, and a real feeling of success through hard work and discipline. Because the sun is also connected to Leo, you might feel like you just hit some good fortune, a note of very good fortune as well, and possibly a very good vibe around long-term and committed love stories, as well as romantic love, kind of winding its way through that time period as well. Maybe a beautiful trip with a significant other that you deserve or something, and a real healing around themes of romance and sexuality as well. And you'll feel that vibe coming on strong June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, which will take us into the next big story. Venus is a goddess of all things good. In fact, Venus is a benefic, lesser, and Jupiter is the greater. Now, Jupiter is exalted, and Venus is with him. And we last had these joined together, these two, in July of 2025. And before that, 12 and 13 years earlier. Now, this is not that common that they come together twice in a row. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And I'll be doing a deep dive into it. But this is going to set in motion an entire year-long cycle, basically. All right. A little bit shy of a year, in which you're going to experience extraordinary good fortune, and you begin to feel it coming at you on the lucky day it happens, which is the 9th of the month. So I want you to put on your calendar. I'm telling everyone to do this. Circle your calendar for the 9th, 9th of the month. So 8th, 9th, 10th, 8th, 9th, 10th of June. Circle your calendar. It should look like good news, because Mercury, the messenger, is here, about your home, your property, your family of origin, where you live, good news involving people in the home that live with you. It all flows to the North Node of Fate in the house of distant shores and lands, or also revenue generated from far off lands. If you work in and from the home, especially, this could be very, very exciting and lucky energy. So because it's exact on June the 9th, and you bracket it by a day or two on either side, there's just a really good vibe that week. But remember, it's going to spin something into motion that lasts an entire year. And with Mercury, I'd expect some information or good things happening with marketing, selling, and buying and selling of property and real estate could be a part of it. Venus and Jupiter together are high fertility signatures, good news around fertility matters, love, romance, sexual energy as well, with Venus. And, maybe something to do with Jupiter coming together with Venus here, translating to good news around domestic life, cohabitation, and long-term love relationships. Good news as well, and positive developments and lucky breaks that could spin out over a year, FYI, to do with distant places and far-off lands, and also foreign shores. For some of you, this could consolidate a relationship into cohabitation, and it could, in the long term, lead to more legal status between you and another, including marriage vows, etc. Also, if you were single and you were looking for a relationship, this could bring new love stories close to home, near where you live. They could lead to longer term committed love, from beginning, dating and meeting, to long-term love in the long game story. So let me know how it all goes, but find the luck when it happens. Look for what goes on around the 9th of June, particularly look for phone calls, texts, and emails as well. Anytime Mercury's around, there should be messages, but it could also be conversations in the home that are extremely fortunate. Okay. And even with Mercury co-present there, it could be a fortunate turn of circumstances because you were on a trip somewhere, like taking a journey with someone that you love, or going on a short distance travel or long distance trip, and having something generate from that is extraordinarily destined, fated, and positive. Now, it will impact Aries Sun, Moon, and Rising most intensely if you have a around 20 to 29 degree Aries sun, moon, or rising, but all Aries feel it nonetheless. Moving on to the next story. Yes, I talk fast. I want you to get everything you need to know, including the lunations, right? All right, I'm going to keep this to 30 minutes, come hell or high water. So I think that you're going to take a look here, the next thing to watch out for, because Saturn's in your sign. You're getting like Saturn until April of 28, right? 2028 in your sign. You could burn out. You could work too hard. You could literally break your back. So be careful about working too hard. But Mercury squaring Saturn from your fourth house of home and domicile and nest on the 10th of the month can indicate some difficult circumstances to do with communication for people you live with. I know I just told you how lovely it was to see Venus and Jupiter, and that is true. But nonetheless, this is another story co-present. So I don't know, you could have a very stern, realistic, and hard conversation. Bring it down to reality, sober-minded, realistic conversations with someone you live with, connected to long-term love and commitment. Venus rules your seventh house. And so that could be a come to Jesus moment or a reality check about a relationship. It could also bring you into contact with other stories to do with prosperity and abundance, and a reality check when it comes to your homeland and real estate and expenditures, including rental expenditures. Mercury rules the house of rentals. And so there's just a sobering reality check moment. And you may come up with ideas about how to handle it differently. With the Jupiter-Venus love up there, it's all going to go well. Anyway, it's very benefic, but it has a bit of a hard-ass edge on the 10th of the month. Good things and bad things happen at the same time. Difficult and flowing happen together. Now we go on to the Venus and Chiron story. For you, it's important because Chiron has been your wounded energy ever since 2019 in your sign. And here he is, and he's also the key to purpose and belonging. And here he is squaring that Venus in the fourth house. And it might feel very ouchy, if I do say so. It's at 29 anaretic degrees, another grand finale on the 13th of June. We saw Mercury give you a softer touch grand finale on the first day of June or so. Now Venus is doing a hard, what do you call it? Tough love. It's tough love energy. I don't know what to say. You'll see a feeling here of completing a self-worth story, alignment with purpose and career story, connection to where your true home lies story, in the order of, I just said those three things, rising, sun, and moon. Those three things go in that order. You kind of might want to think about Venus. She's trying to work her magic with Jupiter. She just crossed over through him, with him, as him, and now she's on the other side of it, and she wants to get this thing finished up with Chiron. Go back to your childhood. This is your childhood. Can you find evidence for some wounds that take you all the way back to your beauty, your lovability, your friendship qualities from childhood? And did you feel, even with the square to Saturn, isolated, like a loner? Did you feel like you didn't fit in your own home? Were you a changeling? Venus is giving you the path to healing here. And you're going to feel that very strongly around June the 13th. If you're single, you could find a love partner, a romantic opening, really close to home. Like, we're not talking about driving to the city next door. We're talking about taking the garbage out. So this could open up a door for a new love story as well for some of you, that has the potential to be long-term and lasting. And the intersection of that person in your life becomes a very healing journey for you, not only about self and career and home, right? Also about things to do with long-term committed love. So look for that turning point, that healing point around the 13th of June. We have a new moon at 24 degrees of Gemini, and Gemini is your shorter distance travel, siblings, neighbors, cousins, social media landscape, media in general, learning a skills-based learning. Funny, I'm signed up for a year-long program in Vedic astrology, a diploma program, and it will be starting in the middle of June, right around July the 12th. So what I like about the energy of the new beginning, the new moon, is that the third house is one of the educational energies. We like to learn a skill, a skills-based learning here. This is an awesome energy for a new start if you want to learn, study, or take a course. New moon, new beginning, Yay. Also super awesome for new beginnings that can start here regarding your sibling relationships, your neighbors and neighborly relationships, and also new beginnings connected to marketing, selling, learning, teaching, all of that. Now, this new beginning thing, it could be a new website, it could be a new program you want to launch, it could be new travel plans. This is going to be showing you the truth of it on June the 12th, and then it will unfold over 2 to 3 weeks with the main themes, but it will kind of open a door that lasts for a whole 6 months. With this new beginning happening in Mercury in the 4th house, ruler of the moon, possibly it's going to lead to more bounty and prosperity in your life. The gains of this moon are greater riches in Cancer, in and from your 4th house. So home-based riches, what do you do in and from your home? Maybe something you learn could become a home-based business. The sun rules your 5th house of entrepreneurship. I know you don't believe me, but really it is a new moon down there. There we go. You see it now? Now we're going to talk about the next story. Venus is trining Neptune for dreamy love, soulmate love, beautiful art, higher vibrational frequency, creativity. Venus is moving out of the sign of Cancer. Venus moved into Cancer May 19th, and on June 12th, she's ready to exit. So when we move to the 14th now, she's already moved into Leo. Venus in Leo through to July 8th is really good for romance, passion, and dating. It's really good for fertility and pregnancy with you and another. It's really good for creative, inspired entrepreneurship and artistic endeavors, and simply enjoying your life. Inspired, enthusiastic, fun comes your way. Praise the Lord. June the 13th to July 8th. And as she ingresses or moves into your Leo 5th house of good fortune, she flows back to Neptune. If you are single, I'm going to tell you this whole time that she's going to be in your 5th house, June 13th to July 8th, could bring you in touch with a divine partner, divine complement, twin flame, soulmate, call it what you want. Otherwise, your creativity, artistic endeavors, and your enthusiasm for your entrepreneurial business escalates to a new height. And actually, you could get some online celebrity off of this story as she sextiles Uranus and trines Neptune. So this could be a height of celebrity or viral hits or really big energy around that time frame for you. Okay. And so specifically, it's very active, like very active. On June the 13th, 14th, 15th. Okay, so look for a height of success if you're on the online sphere, especially, or new romantic love. And with Uranus close to home, like in your neighborhood, guys, don't travel too far away. It's right at hand. You bump into someone at the supermarket, across the grocery aisle. All righty. Venus will oppose Pluto at the same time. And obviously, that's going to bring into a kind of dynamic tension any kind of toxic or difficult love relationships that may include betrayals or that may involve power struggles. And love relationships involving betrayals or power struggles are going to be shattered maybe with the Uranian energy at this time. You're turning over a new leaf about what you want to experience as a long-range vision or wish in love, right? So there's a turning point at a deeper psychological level for you. You want love to be fun, enthusiastic, playful, pleasurable, and long-term committed. You don't want to, you're not a player in this chart. You want this, you want the put a ring on it. And so you're going to have a massive transformation around that, like a divine shattering download. But at the same time, the potential for meeting someone new is also still here. And that's true through to July the 8th, meeting someone new. Okay, on the 21st, Chiron sextiles the sun sextiles Chiron. But guess what? The good news is Chiron is no longer bothering you. That pesky little guy has moved on, and he's now on June the 20th, headed into your 2nd house of voice, vocation, and calling, the way you make money, your facial appearance, and your dietary habits. And there's going to be a good 7-year run of learning some new lessons here. However, Chiron, the key to purpose, will only let you make money when you are on purpose. If you're not in your alignment with your Dharma, you won't get the money going. So there's going to be a shift of what matters to you and how you make money in alignment with what matters to you. Now, this is going to be true to September 17th. And then the next April, Chiron comes back again and finishes for another 7 years in Taurus. This is a testing preview window. As Chiron crosses that boundary, you'll notice he's doing a few cool things. The first thing is he's going to talk to the sun. And that's what we're looking at here. On solstice, June 21st, Sun enters into the height of the sky, the longest day of the year in the Western Hemisphere. And as he's in this fourth house of home and property and real estate, and lucky Jupiter is still here with good news Mercury. They don't quite touch though, but they're close beside each other. What is it that is coming through for you that looks like money, right? Because it's still Chiron in an earnings house flowing to the Sun. The Sun rules creative and entrepreneurial endeavors. So there's something going on positive around money at this time for you, especially if you do it or good news around your children, good news around fertility stories if you're trying to get pregnant, maybe some good things going on in your home life, just in particular, especially if it involves rental properties with that moon combination here. I like the idea that you could possibly find, this is what I'm looking at, you could possibly find yourself in a good space in the money story, and just kind of a feeling that you're enjoying your life financially, and the way you make money is enjoyable. So it's not a hardship energy. It feels good. It's nice. It's a nice keynote energy for the new vibe you have of Chiron in your second house until September. You're practically looking at the concept of bounty and enthusiasm through joyful ways of earning that are on purpose. So you're discriminating about what is on purpose for you. I do not mind the Sun in a trine to the North Node at the same time, opening up destined increase of resources financially, perhaps, connected to things you're doing in and from your home, especially if you make money from far-off lands and digital resources like digital income and borderless revenue. But Chiron could be like being on purpose and getting the key to the purpose in terms of earning strategies. So I'll be teaching that webinar, Chiron, the Key to Purpose. Well, no, not the webinar, but Chiron and Taurus, close to the June 21st. So maybe it'll feel like that's my true calling, is to talk Chiron in astrology. And maybe I'll write a book about him. Who knows? But some vibe is going on. Next, because I'm an Aries Sun and Moon and Rising. So I'm an Aries Sun and Moon. All right, we don't mind the idea of Venus and Saturn finally smoothing out some of the rough edges you've been feeling when it comes to how hard you've been working. I don't care if you say you're not working hard. I don't believe it. That, or you feel lonely and isolated, Aries. Are you feeling lonely, isolated, or overstretched in the kind of hard work? Because Saturn rules your career space. And, you know, the hard work grind, the grind is Saturn here, and he's fallen. So the grind is feeling too grindy even. Like the grind has got glass grits in the grinds. It's like walking on glass and working hard. And you're like, WTF, this is too much. And then finally we get then to Venus, beautifully, beautifully flowing on the 25th of the month to Saturn. Now this is going to feel for you around the 25th as if something lightens up. And Venus is going to open up good fortune. This is the house of good fortune. And at the same time, soothe the hard work that you've been doing so that you don't feel like the burnout that you feel like at all. Something good is trying to happen, including feeling June 23rd that you might even hit the mark with your audience if you have it, clients in marketplace. But this energy with Venus, she's kind of like, girls just want to have fun. I'm not going to work this hard unless I'm having fun. And so she finds a way for work to feel fun, or you take a good break from work so you can have some fun. All of those can happen. But because it's a house of good fortune, you never know. It could be some stroke of luck, or fortune could involve wealth, and it lightens your load because you're going to work less hard. This is a house of winning lotteries. And so, yeah, of course, please do, try your best to gently play lotteries, not overdoing it between June 13th and July 8th, that you could come into some winnings that would give you Jesus's, ye have heavy burden coming out, will give you rest. I mean, there's a rest spot here, resting from the burden of working so hard. When you work this hard, you do exalt your audience and marketplace, so it pays off. But it reminds me of the content creator treadmill that I'm on. So if any of you know how you're working too hard, let me know. And then we have the finale, the final touch point on this month. Mars sextiles Jupiter, and then we have a full moon. So in Cap, Mars sextiling Jupiter is good for commercial industry and finances and business. Mars in the house of money, Taurus, Jupiter in the home. If you are doing any home-based business, then this is going to be a commercial success moment of some kind. You're going to feel it activating just before the exact date that it is active, which is the 28th. It's building up, right? So you're going to feel it building up some momentum as soon as June 24th, even a little bit earlier, June 23rd. So June 23rd, all the way until about the 28th. So June 23rd to the 28th, this is exceptional energy. And it can look like the hard work you're doing or making money or something in Jupiter. You could spend money. You could buy a car, but you're buying a Mercedes or you're buying a fancy one because Jupiter is exalted. Mercury is commerce, a really great moment of exalted purchase that you're excited about, but also making money in an exalted way. If you are particularly active in home-based income or earnings, that's really going to be a nice vibe. Otherwise, you could buy an exalted possession, a super fancy sofa, a high-end cappuccino machine, or a super powerfully expensive car, that kind of thing. And yeah, go for it. Why not? It's a nice vibe. Right. And an anoretic 29 degrees is potent and powerful. In fact, it's a fame degree. So let me know how it goes. Finally, the full moon in Capricorn at 8 degrees of Capricorn. This is a big, big, big light in the sky. And it's going to be important because this is your career house, a fulfillment of some career objective from the new moon 6 months earlier. Okay. The new moon would have been in the winter season, like at Christmas time kind of thing. So the new moon, seeds you planted for career gains and success and reputation, fruiting or becoming a big light in your 10th house. And anytime we have a big full light, like the sun or a full moon in the 10th house, we're very visible. We're at the top of the sky. Everyone's looking at us. All eyes on you, right? All eyes on you. Big full moon up here. And Saturn says it's very personal. Aries Sun, career success and fulfillment and light, big light. Moon, success from your home base, or you're really excited and happy by what's happening. And you're rising, just personal success in your career fulfillment, but you had planted the seeds back in December. So it's like now the flourishment. And because Jupiter's at the root of it, looking up at the moon, it's extraordinarily powerful and very, very positive. I can't see the downside to this moon. I'm trying. I don't find the downside at all. It's going to be at 8 Cap. It's going to be in flowing to the North Node of destiny for increase in worldly success and could open up a whole new level of professional accomplishment for you and success. Like, let me know how it goes when you find out what happens, because it is happening on the 29th of the month. There, it's a big and full at 8 degrees, flows to the nodes of fate, good for work, international revenue, borderless income, career flourishment. You get a raise or promotion or reach a new height. It has a vibe, and it's really fortified by Jupiter across the way. And so it feels lucky, feels like a lucky new beginning. The moon is full on the 28th, 29th, and then give it a good 2 weeks to show you what it's really for. And of course, all moons roll up for 6 months. I think I made it in 30 minutes. Cross my fingers. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Call to actions. You want to get the last class of my Divine Timing Masterclass and the replays at a really big discount, probably 30 or 40%. Check the description box. Code CELEBRATE all caps. Code CELEBRATE all caps gives you 40% off every course I've ever taught on replay mode at my new teaching site at laurielothian.com. Check below. And what was the other? Come to my Chiron webinar. I'll see you guys there. It's sometime in June. I haven't set the date. By the time I'm recording this way early, like May the 10th, 11th, you'll know in the description box what the date is, how to sign up, or how to get on the wait list for when I do publicize the webinar. I do a lot of free webinars. This was not free. It might be $10, but I always do tons, 600 people take a webinar and 2 people tip me. And I went, why am I doing that? You want to learn, tip me, just pay me $10 then. All right. Ciao, guys. Lunatic astrology.